Introducing.
What?
Welcome back, guys. It's episode 2 of the Dumbax podcast. Again, I'm here with
Alex.
and I'm here. What am I?
Mike.
Would I be a host? No, because we're
Yeah,
both hosts. Oh, we're both hosting the show.
Yeah,
right?
sure. I guess so.
Yeah, so I'm
Co-host.
I'm co-host.
I'm co-host.
Oh yeah, because I made this channel. This is my
Yeah.
channel, not yours. Yeah,
Oh.
see everybody in episode 1 and said it was my channel.
Yeah.
No, so
It's yours. It's fine. You
it's
can
mine.
have it.
You're
I'm your co-host.
my co-host. We both made this. This is our idea, both of our ideas. So yeah, Dumbax podcast is our podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, we decided to go ahead and do an episode 2. It was a long episode 0 and episode 1, so we decided, you know what, just whatever. Let's make an episode 2. And just keep going. There's a lot of stuff we have to talk about that we didn't get to talk about in episode 1. You know, kind of cut it off because it was kind of dragging a little bit. I mean, we don't want really long episodes.
Yeah. So, I guess we just pretty much wrap up whatever we were talking about.
Well, I got some new stuff that I kind of want to talk about. Is just kind of how when I made my channel, I did have some experience learning how to edit videos and stuff because I have high school that I took media classes.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned how to edit and stuff from there. And I wish I knew like now that was a thing. That like whole era of editing videos and doing media stuff was something I could have kept doing once I graduated from high school. And instead, I decided to go to art. I mean, it worked out in a way, I guess. Like, you know, the logos that I've created, they're, you know, stuff that I did in like minutes, but it's something I love doing, and just kind of saying, I don't know where that was going, but just that's kind of my whole take on, you know, knowing how to do this is something, especially something when we wanting to learn podcasts. We didn't have to do a lot of research doing, like we didn't like we go and watch a bunch of podcasts together and be like, okay, you know, this is all we should do. We kind of already have our own knowledge of it, and we just kind of rolled with it.
Yeah, but I mean, like at the same time, we're also just sort of winging it.
Yeah.
You know, see what happens, what works and what doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, you like doing all your art stuff. You mess around on Photoshop a lot, so and it does good. You know, like the whole channel thing is.
It looks like a channel.
Yeah.
And then it looked like somebody just made up a fake channel. Yeah, I'm also responsible for my cousin's channel, Garza Gaming, which I actually found out that when I was making it, like it seemed like somebody else made a Garza Gaming channel.
Oh really?
Like a second one, and I was like, what? Like I swear to God, like when I YouTubed my cousin's channel, it was like Garza Gaming, and it was only him, and I was like, oh cool. And my other cousin who records too, but he's 10 and he doesn't know how to do his stuff. But
his is also Garza Gaming.
No, his was Garza Gaming Junior, and then he changed it to like Eureka Striker or something. I don't remember what it is. Striker 11, I think that's what it's called. But he like they do mobile gaming.
Okay.
So I kind of he doesn't play much console games, but I think one of the games he would have loved playing if he ever had a console was Call of Duty, because he likes playing mobile games like. I think like Mobile Strike. No, not Mobile Strike. It has it's like a play on Call of Duty. Like I don't remember the title it's called, but it's like a gun game that he plays. And I'm like, oh. So I made his logo, and then I made his channel art, like his channel stuff, and then like I was like, okay, I'm satisfied with it. Boom, and I gave it to him. He was like, oh, this is super cool. And then like immediately I was like, I hate it. I'm gonna change it. And so like I changed it to what it is now, and like not even joking, like it surprised me because I did it randomly. Like I was like, oh, this is good, and it looks like the Turtle Beach logo,
Mm-hmm.
uh, with it, instead of like Turtle Beach, it's like GG, and that's cool because it's GG like Garza game. Like when you say good game, GG, and it's like the little logo of like the Garza bird. That's where our name is, like the bird. So like I was like, man, this looks like the Turtle Beach logo, and I was like, man, that's so cool. And I was like, oh, it's his video, so which his channel. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make my channel. And so like our first logo for Domax was a drawing that I did in Adrian's house. I was like, man, like everybody was playing like NBA or something like that, and I was in the computer.
Yeah, we were playing.
And I was drawing, like I drew like the basic design, like the circle and the DB, and I was like, you know what, like this is so cool and whatever. I'm gonna just use that as a temporary thing, and I immediately didn't like it, and I had to make it like Photoshop, especially since I made that the logo, and then I made the channel art on Facebook on Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, I'm an idiot. I could just make the logo here, and so I made a logo. I mean, I made a couple of them. There are a couple that are archived that I deleted because I was like, ugh, gross, nope. And actually, the first logo, because this is the logo you see now, not the one here for the podcast, but the one that you see on our channel is something I made that had all our names on the outer rim of the inner circle. Like, it had all our names in it, and but I left out like a couple of people that were there from the beginning, but you know. And
aren't in any of the videos.
And I put people that aren't in any of the videos. So I was like, I felt really bad when I made it, and there was no way I could fix it because when I saved it, I merged all the layers, so there was no way to go back and edit it. And I was like, damn it. So like doing it again, I did it from scratch, but I was able to recreate it, and I was like, oh wow, nice. So I did it. I did it better. I took out, the name. I had put the name in the logo, and I was like, you know what? I don't like it. So I put the DB, and I like it.
Cool.
Of course, like you said, I like it because I made it.
Yeah, well, obviously. Yeah.
But that's rare for me because I don't really like what I do. I'm very critical of myself, like.
Yeah, as are most artists, I guess.
Yeah, but most artists are critical with other people's stuff. Like I'm not like for when I see other people, I'm like, oh, they're way better than I am. Well, but then I don't say it like they're better than me. I should stop doing what I'm doing. I'm always like, oh, I gotta be better than them. And that was stuff like going to college, like when I was doing my art drawing stuff and doing design stuff. It was like I found out who was the best in the room, and I knew how to be better than them.
And did it work out?
And it worked. It didn't work out to like completely like that. I became better than them. It was that I was like I at least needed to have one drawing that was better than theirs, and it did happen one time, and I was like yes, and I didn't care anymore. So like my freshman year of college, Danny's sister's friend, B.
Yeah.
I think she went to school with us too, but I had her for drawing for my freshman year, and dude, like, oh my god, like we would do charcoal drawings, and hers were just like most realistic stuff I could ever see. I was like, wow, like I was like, there's no way I can do that good. But I was like, you know what, I have to. Like, I have to. It was a drive for me. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it because it was like, I have to be better than you. And not that I never did. I just knew that one time that because he would always acknowledge her, like, oh, everybody look at hers. And I was like, I had it just once that it did happen. I was like, yes! I was so excited. I was like, yes. But then after that, like it never happened again. But I was excited for that one moment that I was acknowledged more. But I still met her when I continued in college in Pan Am. But I never had a class with her.
Oh, okay.
But I did meet her there, and I saw her stuff, and I was like, man, like, there's, not that I say it now that I'm not saying that there are people better than me, but they're not that they're better than me. They're just they see differently than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, that's how they see. So, like for me, the way I draw stuff is the way I see things.
So horrible.
Yeah, horrible. Everything's horrible. So like, I continued drawing, and something I did when I was a little kid. I enjoy doing it now. I enjoy doing it now for things I like doing. especially when I was going to school, learning how to do different things, and now I know how to be more critical about myself in helpful ways instead of just be like, "Oh, you suck, Mike. Don't stop doing this." Which is something I did when as I was growing up. That I was like, you know what, I'm never gonna be that good, and I trashed everything I ever did.
Yeah. That's normal.
Yeah, and now I'm just like, you know what, like, I like my craft, I like what I do, and you know what, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Now it's like, who gives a shit? It's like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care what you say. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it is. And like as I was doing stuff in college, like, you know, I think the one person I never expected to tell me that I was wasting my time was my grandma. So she told me I was wasting my time, and I felt really bad, and I called the one person that, like, who had been there, like, to support me from the beginning. Like my parents were supportive about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they weren't, but the one person I like always pushed me, who would always buy me like supplies, not all the time, but like, he bought me one when I would visit him in California. And my uncle Rob, and he would always like he'd always buy me like paper, and he would give me money. Be like, not buy me, he always give me money. Go Walmart, buy this, buy that. I'm like, whoa. And I remember seeing like his drawings and stuff, and I was like, whoa, like he wanted to do the same thing I did. Well, not the same thing, but similar.
He's an artist too.
Yeah, not as much anymore, but
yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure if he picked up a pen and started drawing again,
is he the one that has all the comic books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one who gave me most of my comics. So, or not most of my comics. All my comics I ever had were from him.
Yeah.
So, he was I called him up and I was like, dude, am I wasting my time? And he told me, like, if it's something you love doing, like, it's never a waste of time.
Sure.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna prove everybody wrong. This isn't a waste of time. I mean, it kind of is a waste of time. I'm kind of wasting my time. Kind of wasting my time graduating. Not wasting my time, but I'm just like taking my long ass time to graduate. But it's just something I like to do, and there's no rush for me to like. There's no rush for me to finish doing it. I have the rest of my life to keep doing it, and like, I get it. People want me to graduate and they want to see me succeed and stuff. And it's like, you know what, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But not every artist succeeded. Not that I want to be a famous artist either. Like, I don't want to be like, because you have to die to do that. I'm not gonna commit suicide anytime soon, so just so my stuff can be good. But like, I would rather just do what I love doing and I like it.
Yeah.
If I'm the only one who ever likes it, then that's fine. I have families who do like it too, but I always have people who tell me, like, oh, you do a good job, and it's like, well, I mean, you're kind of related to me. You guys kind of have to tell me that, or, there are people like my girlfriend who tell me, like, oh, you could do better here, you do better here, and it's like, that's what I'd rather like hearing that than...
She tells you suck.
Well, in a critical way, but even then, like, seeing her stuff was like, I didn't want to show her myself. I was like, I was too embarrassed. I was like, nope.
Yeah,
not my stuff.
She's really good.
Yeah.
She's like expert.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is that, like, when we first met, like, it wasn't always, not that it wasn't like that. Like, of course, like, her craft is like amazing because she practices it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like, for her, it was like, because she wanted to be a nurse at the beginning, and so she didn't have like art classes and stuff. Now, like, I'm pretty sure if she did it in the beginning, like, I'm glad she didn't do it because she would have never met me. She would have been like in Italy, in festivals and stuff. But seeing her stuff was just like, man, like, you only see it in movies, like, people who are this good, and it's like I was like, man, I remember having my sketchbook, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna hide it. I hid all my sketchbooks. I never showed her anything. But then like her seeing something I did, and she was like, wow, like, no, to see her say it was amazing, was like, what, like, I'm doing good. Oh. But then she became more critical of my stuff, and, well, like, not that it brings me down, but it's always like, oh, good, I like it. I'd rather have people tell me, this looks bad than it looks good and is really bad.
It only makes you better.
Yeah. Well, that's my whole relationship with her, is her making me better. So it doesn't just go from art. So, but yeah, no, like, art was something I liked doing when I was a little kid, and I'm glad I still do it today. Get to do it for the channel, get to do it for school.
Yeah, I like art. I was just, I never pursued it. I was just a doodler.
Dude,
I would just doodle little doodles all the time.
you're probably the next
In the
Michelangelo, and you're
in the
just
notebook.
doodling.
Yeah. Nah, I don't know. I liked drawing, but I also liked like coming up with stories, even though I don't do that anymore. Like,
No, not even joking. You that was how I started before I learned to draw. Like I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to write creative like novels when I
yeah,
was a little kid. 'Cause I used to write like the
Yeah,
craziest
same.
stories.
same here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, back
Yeah.
back then we didn't have the internet, so it was like all you could
Yeah.
do was write on stuff, and draw. But it
True.
was always like, yeah. So I always wanted to be creative writing, which when I was 13, I have this crazy story that I barely picked up now in college, and I'm like, oh my god, like I have like the amazing time. But I sucked drawing when I was little.
Mhm.
I sucked drawing. I really
You
sucked at
suck
drawing. Like I was a really bad artist. Like writing my stories, I wanted people to see what I was seeing, but nobody could see like what it is I was seeing. So it was like,
Yeah.
so then like I started drawing, and that's kind of like how I began with my whole like they're better artists than I am. You notice that? You remember Steph?
Yeah.
Dude, her in like I remember this like very vividly, like in kindergarten, like she was the best like coloring person like in the entire school. She always won like the coloring contest, and I was like, I would like dude that like made me be better as like an artist. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna color anymore. I'm gonna draw. But I never drew and showed people. I was like, you know what, like nah, they don't deserve to see my stuff. So yeah, like nobody was able to see what it is I drew, and that kind of taught me how to like be like competitive with my drawing, and that's what got me better. And I started drawing more, and you know, Pokemon came into my life, and I would draw Pokemon. And like my uncle still has the uncle I was telling you from earlier. He actually still has a drawing that I drew for him.
Mhm.
And when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, like that was so bad. No, not that I could redraw it now, because I don't really do much drawing. I do more graphic stuff on the computer. But it was always better for me that I learned to draw, and then because it's something I love doing, especially in high school. Like a lot of friends that I met like during high school were because of, like they saw my drawing. They're like, "Whoa, amazing!" Oh. Then I met you guys, and I stopped drawing. I was just like, "Yeah, you guys like me for my personality, not my drawing skills." It wasn't until later that you guys saw my stuff, and you were like, "Oh, you suck."
I don't like you.
Shut up.
Yeah, like, yeah, it was never the drawing thing. Like, I didn't even know you drew until, like...
I wanted you guys to like me first. I didn't want you guys to be like, "Oh, this guy sucks. I'm never be friends with him."
Yeah, this guy's weird. He just draws all the time. Yeah. No, I mean, this... Yeah, like I was saying, like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I could have became an artist, but... Nah. You know? I'm an artist in my head. My own thing.
Well, I mean, because like you know, I was saying earlier, like I took Mr. Morris for video editing and stuff, and that's where I learned video editing. He was also my art teacher, my freshman year in high school.
Oh, okay.
And it, like, because it was always Mr. Benya or that other chick that was art. I had Mr. Morris. He was the only teacher who taught art, and I remember one of the things he used to tell me was that you're never a bad drawer because of how you draw. Like he says, it's never your art that's bad. It's always your seeing that's bad. So you have to see better to draw better. And I was like, I never knew what that meant until like college that like I started practicing more, and I was like, oh, like the way I see things is the way I draw things, and so it's like, oh, like, you learn perspective, you learn all this stuff, and that was something like I learned in high school that I brought with me into college, and it's like, you know, he'll never know that I learned that from him.
Yeah.
He probably didn't think anybody learned that from him, but I was like, because I was the only one in his class who ever did anything
That he said.
because everybody else just wanted an easy A in art.
Yeah, everybody just used it as an Easy grade.
Easy grade, and I was like, for me, that was life, dude. I hated high school because I wanted like to pursue art, and I would tell like the counselor like I want to do art, and I want to, and they're like, well, okay, well you already did all your art credits, so you don't need any more. And it's like I want to keep doing it. It's like, and I hated that I did all my art stuff in the very beginning of school. It's like my freshman, sophomore year on my art classes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have taken it in my senior year and stuff, and that would have been better for me. I took media tech and I took video tech, so it was like I learned to edit and I learned how to make videos, and I was like,
Yeah.
that was like the start of God was telling me, hey, be a YouTuber, and I didn't listen. But it's weird because I didn't even know what YouTubers were and thing. Like I didn't know you can get paid for all that stuff. And not that I like it, not that I would have wanted to be that because I was very shy and awkward and like. But later, like out of high school, I broke my shell of being shy, but because there's no one else around me that I needed to be shy for. So
yeah, that happens. That happens like after high school. Everybody just
they become their own person.
Yeah, because when you're in high school, you have to like this is what you are. Everybody's separated. And shit. So it's like
that was always the most like bullshit I ever heard of when I was going to orientation in college was like, your high school friends not gonna be your friends. The friends you have that you make here are your friends for life. And I was like, that's such horseshit. Because look, I'm like the friends I hang out with now are the friends I hang out with in high school.
Yeah. True.
It's like you're the only friends I had. Like I met you guys my freshman year in high school, and
yeah, but we all met through basketball. So we all played basketball.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like I didn't want to play basketball, like because I was scared because it was like my dad was like you have to try out, and if you're not good, then they kick you out. And I was like, ugh. But they just like all of us, all the entire team was like part of the team.
Yeah.
We had 2 teams for freshman team. We had freshman white and freshman blue.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, luckily we all sucked at basketball, so we were all in the B team.
Yeah.
And not that I care, because it was only you and Danny that I cared about, because we had English class together.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'd rather hang out with you guys, because you guys were funny. And you guys were the only ones who remembered me the next year, so...
Yeah. But I mean, like, going back to basketball, yeah, like, we met freshman year, right?
Yeah.
Basketball. Who else? Adrian.
Danny.
And Danny and Mason. It was weird basketball in junior high.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think, like, 7th grade basketball, met Mason.
Yeah. Actually, we never actually said, like, how old we were, so people can understand, like...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
we're both 24, so...
Yeah, so, like, 7th grade was...
Quite
a few...
Years ago.
Maybe a whole decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even Mikey, because Mikey, I've been friends with Mikey since the 2nd grade. So,
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
2nd grade.
He always tells me that.
So it's like, and we met because me and him played basketball in elementary. And, but yeah, I remember meeting Mason because he was the only, like, other tall kid in basketball. And then, we played 1-on-1 and I beat him, even though he'll say that I didn't, but I did. Yeah, and I think that's how we became friends, and then playing the basketball games, and then high school meeting Mike.
Mostly like we met
which he was super quiet.
Yeah,
Silencer
was
as
the
they nickname that we gave him in basketball because he never talked.
Yeah, because before that because I was born here. I was born in Texas. It wasn't until like junior high is when I moved to Montana, which is like the other side of the United States. Like, so like I went from like hot ass Texas to, oh my god, it never is hot ever in Montana. So like for 2 years I was there. So when I came back, I had no more friends. Like none of my friends that I met like remembered who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, the friend that was my best friend, the one that I was like telling everybody the rest of my life that was my best friend, forgot who I was, and I was hurt by that. Um, like I had nobody, like especially because it was junior. I went to junior high for like the last 2 weeks here when I like lived here. I was like the last 2 weeks of junior high. I went to, like Salinas,
Mm-hmm.
to Alton Junior High.
Oh, okay.
And I was like I met people there, and then like the summer went by and I had nobody, nobody. High school came, everybody was gone. Everybody went to Mission. And since I lived on this side of the street, I went to, you know, our high school, and so like I was like, okay, well that's cool, whatever. I mean, some people knew me. Some people were like, you remember me? And I was like, yeah. And then they never talked to me again. So it was like, oh, cool. And I had nobody, and so like my freshman year, I was super quiet, and like I didn't know anybody. I didn't like making friends anyway, so I was like, whatever. I don't care. If people talk to me, they'll talk to me. And everybody talked to me because I didn't talk to anybody. I thought that was the weirdest thing. I was like, what the hell? Like, well, it wasn't because of basketball. Like remember, I had fourth period lunch. No, fifth period lunch. Mm-hmm. And none of you guys were there. Like, I know all you guys had fourth period or sixth period lunch. So I had fifth period lunch, and I had no friends. So I would go eat lunch, sit down, eat really fast, and then go outside, and then I would chill outside. So like, never talked to anybody until like a group of friends were like, people on my bus were like, hey, like, because I took the bus to school, so I was like, oh, hey, like, why don't you come chill with us? And so I was like, oh, and so then they gave me a new name. They would call me Mike or Michael. They called me Tom.
Tom.
So I was like, well, so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you remember that?
No, why would they call you Tom?
Because there was already a friend there named Michael.
So they just didn't want to accept another Michael.
Another Michael. They were like, I'm gonna call you Tom, okay? And I was like, all right, whatever, I don't care. So,
Tom.
So I was like that. Like I was like, you know, whatever, fine. So luckily for basketball though, it saved me because I met you guys, and everybody thought I was emo. Not you guys, but everybody that I hang out with thought I was emo because I was always wearing this black shirt with the black Under Armour. And like I remember one person asked me if I cut myself, and I was like, "Is that why I wear sleeves?" And I was like, "No." I rolled up my sleeve. I was like, "No, it's just I like this. 'Cause it's cool." Then I stopped that. I stopped wearing that. I was like, "Oh, whatever. I'll wear regular clothes." It wasn't until like sophomore year that I figured everybody was gonna forget me, because it happened when I was in Salinas. I mean in Alton, that I moved. Then in junior high I moved. Everyone forgot me. High school people were like, "You remember me?" Yeah, and then forgot me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna use everyone forgetting who I am. So I was like, so the first day of coming back from, like first period, I was walking in my second period, and Danny, he had cut his hair too, so I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
So he was like walking next to me, and he was like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey." Whoa, Danny! Oh no, I said George because that's because Danny's middle name was George. I mean, Danny's first name is George. So he was like, "Hey, George! Hey, George! George!" So like I was like, man, like it was cool to have somebody recognize me. Remember me? He's like, "Yeah, basketball, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, dude, sweet." And so like, then we had lunch right after. So it was like I never was alone again. You guys saved me from my high school loneliness.
Oh, that's cute.
You know, because in freshman year I had you and Danny for class. Then I never had you guys for class ever again for the rest of my high school years.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
So like,
I never had anybody. I was always just by myself.
I didn't have anybody until my senior year when I had Mason for every class except two, which was basketball and lunch because he had fourth period lunch.
Yeah. No, I always had like whoever was varsity or whatever. You know, like in our grade, like whoever was varsity. I always had them for class. I never had like our group, like of friends.
Well, I took all CP classes, so I had.
Well, yeah, me too.
And I never had any classes with you. I think I was too smart. I was too smart of the CP.
You were smarter than the CP. Yeah.
Then I went to pre-AP and all the dumb people followed me. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah, you see, I still don't see the whole point of like CP, pre-AP, and AP. It's like that's so dumb. Like,
It only made them look good for college, and then they people.
It doesn't
like,
even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like, nobody looks at your freaking high school shit. Like, nobody cares.
So I guess one of the things I want to talk about is like how I met you, since me and you are the hosts of the show.
Yeah.
Like, how did I meet you? And like we already said, like we met freshman year in English class. I remember the first and it wasn't I never talked to you the most. I talked to Danny the most because he was right behind me.
Yeah.
But I remember one of the first times that me and you like actually like had a like one-on-one was we were telling ghost stories. It was like Halloween.
Oh yeah.
And it was like that weekend, Halloween weekend, and we were telling ghost stories. Me, you, Danny, and Elias.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Abel, the ghost stories. I remember telling you a ghost story. But it was a real life ghost story, and you're like, I remember like that Monday coming back. You're like, man, Mike, I couldn't sleep, man. Your story like scared the hell out of me. And I was like, haha, like that was like the funny thing. I was like, man, I never thought I'd connect. Like, oh yeah, that's funny. Huh? But it's funny because like after that, like the years, like me and you never were really close to each other. Like we weren't as close as we are now. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't until like years later that we became closer. Because it was always like we had like my sophomore year, I was close to Adrian,
Yeah.
and then my junior year, I was close to Danny, and then my senior year, I was close with Mason. I think Mason because we would go to church with Mason.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I was close with Mason, and then after I moved out with Marco.
Yeah.
And so like me and him became well we're related, so we had to get along. So me and Marco moved out together and we became really close, but then we all became very like how it is when you move in with somebody, like it's just like you if you get tired of seeing each other.
Yeah.
So like we had that like
There's always problems.
those problems, and like that's when the drama became. So it was like from 5 years later that we like after freshman year that we decided we began hanging out, like me, you, when it became like the smaller group, me, you, Mason, Adrian, and Marco.
Yeah.
Then it became to one of the nights when you and Marco would go watch TV at his house, and so like I would join in, like, and then he left, and then it was just like now it was me and you have been like
Yeah, I was stuck with you.
yeah.
Because I didn't have Marco.
So like now it's just like now it's me and you. And we always go out and hang out and stuff, and like, I mean we go hang out with the guys when we
Yeah.
like when we want, like when everybody decides they want to hang out, like that's fine. Like, but if it's not, like we pull an office and chill, and we just watch.
Yeah.
We pull just hang out and eat pizza and watch shows or catch up with The Flash and Arrow that I never watch, and Doctor Who that I can never watch because it's not on TV anymore. But yeah, like so that's like our history with me and you is like we met 2000 when did we start high school? 2006. Yeah, because we graduated in 2010.
Yeah.
So 2006 when we met. Was in 2000 and what 14, 15 that we became close.
Yeah. I would say. Oh.
Yeah. So we known each other for a long time. Not the longest.
No.
My friend relationship. Probably are the longest now because of like my friends who forgot me.
Yeah.
So like it's always been like it's been a cool trip we've had. We talk about like a lot of stuff. We decided to do something cool, make a podcast.
Yep.
Dumb stuff. I don't know what doing any dumb stuff. We're old men. We just go watch shows and stuff together.
Yeah. We're past the dumb stuff.
I guess what I've been talking about. I feel like I'm talking about like a lot of myself in the beginning of this. Like you kind of got a taste for what I do, what I've done. Then we went straight to forget about you, me and you, how me and you met. So I guess now it'd be a little bit about you. And there's a lot. Like not like you want to say anything. Like it's episode 2. But.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, there's not really much to me. I lived a simple life. to me, your life is the most interesting. You've had a lot of rough patches in your life, and you're only 24.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've lived the life of a 50-year-old, and only like you're only 24, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Well,
yeah. I mean, my life is just like, normal.
It's normal compared to mine,
I don't want to
guess.
say like American, because it's not American, because both my parents are from Mexico. But yeah, I mean, like, as as normal a life you can have, that was pretty much my life.
Yeah.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah. I don't think I'd have time for one podcast to tell you my entire life story.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, I probably won't say too much about my life in these podcasts. I do have something saved up for that, which is something I will never probably ever talk about here because it's
too personal.
Not that's too personal. I'm saying the project that I have is something I don't want to leak out and somebody steal my idea.
Yeah.
So the only person I guess who knows it the most is you, and Elsa. I think you know more than she does because I tell you all my ideas. Also, I'm not too quiet with that. I'm so excited about what it is I'm doing that people. The first person that's like, oh, so what do you? I'm like, oh, I'll tell you the whole story. Oh, and I've told 2 people the entire series, and it's like. So basically, what I want to work out is one day I was showering, I had an idea that why don't I. I always feel like my if I ever wrote an autobiography of myself, it would be too common of a kid living in the valley, living in where we live in the toe of Texas.
Yeah.
It's too common a story. I'm not the only one who goes come through it. So I have something more with the style of my art that I'm basically going to create my story through something else. But I'll talk about that. When something actually happens from it. But I know here and there you will hear little stories about me.
Yeah. I mean, every now and then, right, or whatever we talk about, I mean, usually links to something in our life.
Yeah.
So, little by little.
Yeah.
Give people will know.
I guess something a little interesting about myself is I'm the oldest of 7. So, that's...
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's weird. I have 3 blood brothers. Well, they're all blood brothers. I have 7 blood brothers and sisters. I have 2 brothers that I grew up with until, my dad remarried and he had 4 more kids. But it's been a rough life, but I made it. I made it through. I'm not the only one who suffered through it.
Yeah.
My brothers did as well, but they all got through it their own way. I feel like we all got through it differently. I feel like I got it the roughest because I was the oldest. But, whatever. That's water under the bridge, and it doesn't affect me in real life. It doesn't affect me in my fake life either, but I mean, it doesn't affect me anymore now that I'm, my own, I'm an adult now that I pay my taxes, pay my bills. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much, something, just little things, not pretty much, little what you get to know about us. So what else?
Let's see, let's go into...
Guess what am I, you were going to say, what am I working on? I was like, I can't tell you, Alex.
No. TV. Let's go into TV.
The TV?
Yeah. What are
I
you
don't
watching?
watch TV.
Yeah, that's true.
Neither of us watch TV.
Yeah,
That's the worst subject you can talk about. I mean, everything we miss, we watch here when we hang out.
Yeah, so I mean, technically.
So I mean, we've been watching The Flash.
We watch the day after TV. Is basically
the day after TV.
Yeah.
And not even what days after TV.
Yeah. A few days after.
We've been
TV.
watching, season 9 of the Doctor Who.
Yeah.
We've been watching The Flash and The Arrow and or what is it? Legends of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The episode just aired today. Another one. I think it's the third one, right? Or the second one?
It's the third episode, yeah.
Third,
I think so.
Yeah. Third episode, Legends of Tomorrow. It's a pretty good show.
Way to put a timestamp on this.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
The episode just passed.
That part out. Legends Tomorrow is pretty good.
Yeah, no, like for me, coming not that I grew up Marvel, and I think I developed that myself because my uncle watches all of the Marvel DC and the comic books.
Yeah.
He showed me both. But the thing is, I just grew up knowing there was a rivalry, and I chose a side. I chose Marvel, and I've hated DC ever since. But I mean, I don't hate it as much anymore. I don't hate it because Batman and Superman were parts of my life because I remember watching them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it has nothing to do with me hating them. I just never cared for them. But now I do. It's like watching Arrow and The Flash. It's like, oh my god, and I'm learning so much about, DC that I forgot a lot of my Marvel stuff at this point. Watching the multiverse of The Flash, and it's like, oh my god, you're learning stuff, and I go Google stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember reading this comic, and blah blah blah. And it's like,
yeah, I'm a huge superhero person.
It's so weird because I always felt like I was
I love that.
I always felt like I was the biggest comic book superhero, everything. But like meeting you, it's just like my knowledge is like 2 pages, and you're just like an encyclopedia. I was like, holy crap, dude.
Well, it's not an encyclopedia. I'm just.
Well, I said encyclopedia, not dictionary. Well, what dictionary? Dictionary is smaller, right, dude? Dictionary is like one book, and encyclopedia is like books.
Sure.
So I guess you know a dictionary of more stuff than I do. Than I only know like a chapter of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Also, I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I mean, I know.
But if you want to know
stuff,
but if you want to know anything about anything, you go to him and you ask him. Of course, that's what everyone in our group says. Is like, go to you for it. And it's like, he doesn't know everything, man. I don't know you.
I just know more than my group.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I love all that stuff, like Marvel, DC. What else is there? Like Vertigo Comics, I guess. There's like a branches out of DC. What's the other one? Dark Horse Comics.
Sure. Yeah.
Dark
Just keep
Horse
naming stuff and I'll
Dark Horse is the ones that have like Hellboy stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Hellboy is like one of the main ones. I think Godzilla used to be Dark Horse as well, or is.
I was always a huge Godzilla, not expert, but I've always been a huge Godzilla fan, like growing up. Not as much as my cousin was because he had like all the toys and he could name me all the monsters there ever was, and I was like, what? There's no. I thought it was just King Kong. Because I always had that movie, the Godzilla vs King Kong, and that was the only thing I ever saw. My cousin had all the movies. My uncle had all the movies, and he showed them to my cousin. And then my uncle bought all the toys for him. And I was like, man, dude, like he would like import them from like China or Japan, wherever the show is. Yeah. And then like he would have all the toys, and I was like, man, dude, like I would kill for having any of those toys just to put them on my wall and never open them and touch them.
I know.
Which is that's where like my uncle comes in for me. Like I remember seeing his room, and I was like, I'm gonna have a room like this, full of toys everywhere I'm never gonna play with, shelves of comics and so on. I mean, I'm a third of the way there, I guess. I don't have a lot of comics because I don't have money to buy comics. Yeah. All my toys are everybody's bought them for me.
Yeah, I wish I want to buy like more like physical comics. I have. Yeah. I mean, I read a lot of them like digitally.
Yeah.
But I want to have the like copy, the hard copy. Those I had I was reading the Hellblazer one, which is Constantine.
Mm-hmm. See, like what's weird is like I remember watching like a Constantine movie and not never thinking anything of it. Like I thought it was just like a show, and then you were like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
the
a
Keanu Reeves
yeah, the
one.
Keanu Reeves one.
Yeah.
And I was like, like I like thinking anything of it. Like I was like, it's probably just a dumb, creepy show and movie, and then turns out like when hanging out with you and watching like Constantine on NBC, it was like whoa, he was a real DC thing, and I was like, man, like that was. I wish I watched the movie, because I remember my friend was like, this is awesome, and then I thought it was just like an emo movie, so I was like, I don't want to watch it.
No, I loved the movie, and that was like even before I even knew who like Constantine was.
Yeah.
And then like the movie itself was pretty good. I mean, pretty good. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's pretty good now, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of it, but I mean, it's still one of those movies that has it's a love-hate thing,
Yeah.
you know, because you have your fanatics that are like, oh, it's not whatever, because it's loosely based on Constantine, and it's like a certain chapter or book of Constantine that the movie is based off of. So like, but the TV show, Constantine with Matt Ryan, right? No, was it Matt Ryan? What's his name?
Edward Kenway?
Yeah.
That's the only way I go by. I don't know his actor's
Yeah,
name.
well, yeah, because he also does the voice of Edward Kenway in Assassin's Creed, Black Flag.
We're not sponsored by Ubisoft. You can plug that in.
Yeah, well, I mean, just so people know what we're talking about.
Who cares if they don't know?
I can't remember. I'm just gonna say his name was Matt Ryan. If
You
it's
also have a
not, who
computer in
cares?
front of you, so
Yeah,
you
that's
can look
true.
it
I
up.
have a computer in front of me to look it up. Let me see if it is him. Well, nope. Matt Ryan is a football quarterback. No wonder it made, sounded familiar when I said it. Let's see what Constantine is. Yeah, his name was Matt Ryan. But it didn't come out.
All that for, it was exactly who you thought
I
it
was exactly right. It was Matt Ryan, but it didn't come out. He wasn't the first Matt Ryan that came out on Google.
He's not that famous then.
Yeah, I guess not.
Probably. I mean, he played Edward and Constantine. I mean, that's all you ever need, man.
I know, right? But yeah, like, he was good as Constantine. He looked like Constantine, even from
the comics, yeah,
from the book that I was reading. Like, it looks exactly like.
Oh, even in the show when they cut from the comics, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's like wow, like, they couldn't have cast anybody perfect, and then they're like, oh, we're not gonna show it anymore. It's like, it's like the only thing that's based off the book. I mean, the book based off the comic. They're like, nah, it's too accurate. Let's just cut it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't get that. I hate that when they do that. But because like it happened with I don't remember what, but there was another one that was like another canceled thing, that because it was pretty close to.
It was too accurate.
Yeah.
Well, don't they get the rights? Shouldn't they make it accurate?
Well, the thing is, like, they have film rights, and then they have merchandising rights, and then they have like every little thing has rights, you know. So it's like,
so it's never like the filmmaker's fault for not being accurate.
No, because they can't, because it's like even with Marvel, right? Marvel Studios, and then now Disney owns Marvel, so it's like even though Marvel has the comics, that's why they're really close into the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But they're never exactly the same, because Marvel Studios is the what's it called, the film, right? So the film franchise, and then you have Marvel Comics, which is just the comics, and then like those have their own like copyright, you know.
Yeah.
So you can't take it directly from the comics. So that's why they changed certain things, like the Infinity Stones. You know, in the movie it's called Infinity Stones, but in the comics they're Infinity Gems.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So they changed like little things here and there.
You know, I think it was yesterday. Thor was on. Thor 2 was on TV. I don't remember what channel it was,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, man, I don't remember watching this Thor movie. And
The first one?
no, it was the second one. It wasn't the
Oh,
first
it was the
one. The first one, it's iffy. Like I remember it, sorta. But the second one, I have like no memory of. And apparently, like Christopher Eccleston is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So I was like, how do you not remember that? Like, how would I not remember that? Well, at the same time, I don't remember a lot of actors.
True.
So, but it's like I don't remember the movie at all. Like Iron Man 3, don't remember it either. What was Iron Man 2? Was that the one with the whip guy?
Yeah, Whiplash.
And 3 is with the Mandarin?
3, yeah. Or their attempt at the Mandarin.
yeah.
God, that was horrible. But yeah.
I don't remember. I know the Mandarin, like, it wasn't him, right? It was like a
No, yeah,
actor.
it was somebody else. Yeah, he was just an actor.
I don't, like,
That's
see,
so
I don't-
stupid.
I
I
don't
don't know why
remember.
they did that. Like, and then they tried to recover, like, with, they did, like, a Marvel one-shot, which is, like, a little, like, mini movie, that comes in the DVD, I think, or whatever,
Mhm.
where they try to, like, sort of save the image of the Mandarin. you know?
Yeah.
Like, try to make it like the comics, I think, but I don't know. I never watched it, but I don't know if it did it
It
any
did good.
justice. But yeah, like,
Yeah, it was normally never saving anything you've already spat on, so.
yeah.
I don't know, see, like me, like, my movies, I usually watch all of them. And, like, probably, like, my favorite ones are Captain America, which I don't know why everyone hates Captain America. I think that's the most annoying thing ever, is like, oh, hey, Captain America, it sucks, doesn't do anything. Like, because he doesn't have a power, like, oh, Iron Man doesn't have powers, just suit. I don't hate Iron Man either, but it's like, it makes no sense to hate somebody just because he was nothing. I was like my favorite superhero growing up was like Captain America. I don't know why.
Mhm.
It was just like the coolest, like, hero.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would hate Captain America. It's like,
Yeah.
hating Captain America is like hating America.
It's like hating America. It's like hating Marvel. It's like
Yeah.
they're like freaking not their first hero was Captain America, but like their main, you type Marvel in internet, I'm pretty sure you can see Captain America,
Yeah.
Iron Man, the Hulk. That's like hating one of the founding fathers. Like, I was gonna say George Bush. It's like, I hate George Washington. Have you seen the commercials with George Washington and Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know what that's for though,
Me neither.
but it's pretty funny.
There you go, George. Yeah, those the weirdest commercials, but like, yeah, it's like, to me, like, Captain America's always been my favorite superhero. So when I found out they were making a movie, I was like, whoa! I was beyond excited to like finally like get to see one of my favorite superheroes. It's like you see like X-Men,
Yeah.
and then it was like Iron Man, all these the Hulk, bad Hulk movies, but like to know they were gonna make a Captain America movie was like, I was like beyond excited, and to see the movie I was like, man, I would see it again and again. Even watching the Winter Soldier, but that seems more like the Captain America. The second one seems more like an Avenger movie.
The second one?
Yeah, the Winter Soldier. Because it's like with him and Black Widow and Nick Fury with S.H.I.E.L.D. exposing them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it felt like a... Oh, no, not really. Oh, because then you see Falcon.
You mean this one is gonna...
Well, the Civil War is going to feel like an Avenger movie.
Yeah.
But I was saying the second one kind of feels like that as well. And I'm not usually like, I'm not very critical with movies because I like all movies. I grew up watching movies, but I think people would expect me to hate movies. Like seeing like the Captain American films, and it's like I can watch them all the time and they're really good. And I like them. Like I don't care your opinion is. I don't care.
Yeah.
I liked the first trilogy of Star Wars and everybody hates it.
The prequels.
The prequels, you know.
Yeah.
I said the first trilogy.
Yeah,
I
you
meant
said the first trilogy.
I meant the second trilogy, which is the prequels. I liked them. They were probably my favorites too. But that's because I grew up watching them. You know, I watched them in theaters. That's why I loved them, because they were, you know, I remember watching 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars and be like, I don't get it. I like them. Yeah, I like the lightsaber battles, which were this is like they're hitting a pinata.
Yeah.
And so like seeing like the new Star Wars, like the prequels, I was like, whoa, the lightsaber battles were amazing. And then it isn't until now, like, cause I was so like I watched it when I was little. I didn't really pay attention to Jar Jar Binks, and everybody's like, you ruined the franchise. And I was like, what? I don't know what you guys talking about. He was hardly in the movie. And then when I rewatched it, I was like, dude, he's like in every 2 seconds of the film.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I guess I understand why people hate it now, but I still like the movies, and they're my favorite by far. But yeah, like, I could never hate movies. Like the other thing is like the Hulk movies were really bad. I think the Hulk movies, both of them. I think both of them were really bad. Okay, maybe just the first one. The second one's alright.
Just the first one.
I don't know. I think it's because they changed the actor. You don't get to see Mark Ruffalo ever get to become the Hulk movie. But then again, you don't really need a Hulk origin movie. Not a lot of Hulk, like, because he always has to be, I don't know, no comics so much, but...
Yeah, no, like, he doesn't need an origin story. He has, a origin movie. Because, like, he's one of those characters that you can, like, pretty much discuss through, like, another movie. You know what I mean? Like, what was it? Avengers, right? He didn't come out in anything before that, right?
Not the Mark
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo. No. He didn't come out in any of the movies. He was
so
just like... You know what's funny is that like I didn't even notice that either. Like they changed the act. Well, because I don't remember seeing the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I gotta remember seeing the second one too much. The first one, like I said, it really kind of scared me more. Not like I don't know, not like ooh scared. It's just like I was like, yeah, I don't want to see it. Like it wasn't like exciting to see. Like Hulk probably was not the favorite heroes because of what's the dude who played him? In
the second?
No, in like the series, in the series of...
Oh, in the old ones?
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno?
There you go. Like, I remember watching him and I was like, oh, this is scary, and I never watched him. So I never really liked the Hulk too much. And I never saw any of the Captain America stuff. Like, I always watched like even then, like, I watched Spider-Man a lot. Growing up, like the Amazing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember watching those on Fox Kids. Watch those all the time. So like, just to like people is now like, oh, these movies suck. Like, no. I mean, maybe Spider-Man 3 kind of sucked. I can see why it sucked. I still liked the movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like how they portrayed Venom, but I mean, I liked.
Yeah, that was.
I also didn't like. What was it?
Which one?
Was it 3 that they introduced Rhino?
No,
Or is it is that the one with Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, that's just.
I hate that the trailers made it seem like he was gonna be a big role, and it wasn't until like the very end. I was like, what? I was like, that's dumb. I feel like Marvel is not doing a great job with their like individual movies. With, well, I mean, maybe not Marvel Studios with like the ones like I guess Fox, who does the ones produced by Fox, like the Spider-Man. And they're already on their 3rd Spider-Man.
You mean Sony?
Sony.
Yeah, Sony does Spider-Man.
Who does the X-Men? That's Sony too?
That's Fox. 20th Century Fox.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Who's doing Deadpool?
Fox.
That's coming out next Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Are you going with your sister?
1 week from now. Yeah, probably.
You never go to movies with me, Alex.
Yeah, well, I always like to go the day before.
Yeah.
So you get like the 7 o'clock showing. I like going that one. I think my cousin might come too, so I don't know.
I told Elsa I was going with her, so I'm going. going on Valentine's Day, which is Sunday.
She's gonna watch Deadpool.
Yeah. Probably the only superhero movie that I take her to go the first time. I was alright with watching Star Wars second with her.
Oh, now she's gonna know.
I told her.
Oh.
I think so. I don't know.
Did
Whatever.
you? Well.
I don't know. This will come out later. But yeah. So like, I don't know. It watching superhero movies was always a good thing for me. Especially like that's kind of what I started drawing was like superhero stuff, but not like superhero comics though. I made my own comics when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tried to at least. A lot of them I threw away because I was never good at keeping my stuff. I was always good at throwing them away or losing them. So like just seeing like all these superhero stuff like always gave me ideas for stories for later in the future. And now that my one autobiography that's going to turn into something is all based off what I grew up watching. So yeah, that's pretty much my superhero thing. I'm now more DC now. Like I like DC movies.
Yeah.
I'm not too excited about the new Superman Batman movie, but cause I've never
Dude.
never really liked Superman because of of his fight with Goku and his little things. Not even then. Like I've never really liked Superman because I did like Batman. I always wanted Batman to beat Superman. But in the shows I watched, Superman won, so I was like, no one can beat Superman, and I hate Superman. I mean, I liked him, but
Of course not. Nobody can beat Superman. Unless you have Kryptonite, then maybe you could beat him. But I mean, like, yeah. Honestly, like, Superman's probably like, I don't want to say the best because he's not the best, but
he has weaknesses, but he
good.
can break through his weaknesses, and
he has good storylines. Like,
yeah.
like right now in this current storyline, he, I don't know what storyline DC is going on right now, but it's probably something with the New 52.
Probably.
Which
I didn't even know.
He lost his powers, so he's just normal, but like, cause something happened with his DNA, that he has kryptonite in his DNA, so he lost his powers. But like, from what I read was that the exposure of kryptonite like is sort of like changing his DNA, so like, I don't know, he's gaining his powers, but they're not his powers, they're like a different manifestation of his powers. You know, like I don't know, I think I saw like a little cut of where he's like, where he thinks he's getting his super hearing back. Yeah. But it's not his super hearing, it's like that he like he's hearing the frequencies, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I agree with you because I don't know. But
yeah, well, like like different sound waves and stuff like that. You know, like electromagnetic waves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he feels those or something. I don't know. But
speaking of which, you tagged me on something. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it was the Young Justice season 3.
Oh yeah. The director teased that there was gonna be a season 3 of Young Justice, but yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
And like the Teen Titans series cancels too, or not cancel? They stopped making it.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you read up on that? No.
Not too much. I just read it and I was disappointed and I stopped reading. Yeah. But you know me in reading, I read 3 sentences and I'm like, that's too much. I don't want to read.
Yeah.
It's so weird that I went from writing stories to like always like writing them and reading them to like drawing and hating to read and stuff. I don't understand that.
You can't read.
Not that I can't read. I can read. I just prefer like my brain makes up stories like while I'm reading. Like if I'm reading something really cool, and it's like oh, and then my brain will make up a scenario of that exact story. But if I was in it, so it's like I'll like read and then I'll be like, oh, Oh. I look like I'm mental when I read books because it's like I'll even be staring. I'll be staring at a word and just staring at the word and not reading the word. So it'll be like this is like me staring at a book and thinking of something else. So it's not that I have problem. Like I don't know if that's like condition or anything, but like I mean I've gone through books before, so it's just a problem with my imaginative brain.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the superhero thing, like I'm gonna say that my favorite's like I don't know. I really like Batman, but of course, like everyone's like, oh, so everybody loves Batman. And it's like, yeah, but but I think I know, enough about Batman to actually like Batman.
I've always see Batman was always one of those like when I liked Batman like because I grew up watching the Batman show with Mark Hamill as the Joker and like watching those shows and then watching Batman Beyond and stuff like that. Like those like I never really liked Batman too much because I was like later than I was like when I with the whole Marvel versus DC for me like I was like yeah you know what Batman that's true Batman is not a superhero he just has gadgets and then later it was like so does Iron Man. It's like oh yeah well but it's just like I mean I kind of like Batman now like he's probably like a really cool superhero. It's like he's the only one from like the Justice League that's like human that he can kick everyone's ass in the Justice League.
Yeah, because I mean he's not just Batman. He's like Bruce Wayne, So he's like it's like how they always say like when they always pit Iron Man against Batman, it's like who would win, right? It's like because they're both similar, they're both billionaires, they're both geniuses, and whatever. But I mean, like, if you just take away like Iron Man's suit, right, and he's just Tony Stark, and then you have just Bruce Wayne would still win because he like trained. He knows like he's mastered all the martial arts. He's mastered like. He has like several degrees and everything.
But if you took all the money away from him, he would never learn any of that stuff. Then you would have just two geniuses fighting nothing. I don't know. I always had a reason to hate Batman, but I don't really hate him that much anymore. Like, but the only thing is I can say is like I really don't like now that I'm a fan of him. Like, it's like there isn't a good Batman movie. There hasn't been a good one, and I don't know, like, I don't know how you can say, like, they are good, like, movies, like, by themselves, like, they're good movies, but they're not a good Batman movie. Nobody actually, like, is a badass Batman. Everybody's a Bruce Wayne. Everybody's a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. It's like, they haven't been able to, I guess, capture the emotional, trauma thing. And I think that's what Ben Affleck's doing as Bruce Wayne, because I think in this one is gonna be good. Batman, he's gonna be probably the best Batman that we've seen, because he's not only is he like gonna portray Batman, but he's portraying Bruce Wayne as Batman, not Batman as Bruce Wayne. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it's like...
Because it's like I was telling you, like, watching all the animated Batman stuff, it was like, he's such a badass hero. Like, he kicks ass and he fights, and it's just like, you don't see, like, what was the dude's name for the Dark Knight series? Like, you don't see him, the Batman there, like, gets his ass kicked by Bane, which is a crappy version of Bane. The English version of Bane, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? They don't even like introduce Venom to like why he's super buff and stuff. And it's like, even though Bane is stronger by himself, but I mean he's stronger with the Venom.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't see any of the drug stuff that makes DC like their villains like insane, like Vertigo and the Venom and what was the Joker? Doesn't he have something? Or is that just the games?
Uh, no, he has the Joker toxin, the one that like the laughing gas or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It kills him and leaves a smile on your face. I forgot what it's called though. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, that's
Joker X, no, or some shit like
something.
that.
I don't know.
Probably.
I've never been too into the drug thing. The only thing I've seen is the DC stuff that we have been watching. You know.
Yeah, and that was another thing that is the villains, like
Yeah, that too.
DC has probably the best villains of anything. The villains are more popular than the superheroes. You know, everybody loves Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody likes.
Well, let's hope the Suicide Squad is. I hope it goes good.
I think it will. I'm pretty confident in it. I think it would be good.
I saw a post today on Facebook that it was like, because it's crazy seeing all the. I love that I've seen all the new Deadpool movie and the Suicide Squad, but where the hell did all these Deadpool and Harley Quinn fanboy and fangirls come from?
Yeah, that's true. It's just like,
I mean, we know Adrian, and you go to his room, it's like, well, he's been a Deadpool fan for a good while.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a Captain America poster, but I tore, so I have it in my room, but, like, I don't know. I can't believe people, because there hasn't been a Deadpool movie. There hasn't been a good Batman with a Harley Quinn. Didn't they tease that in the Dark Knight trilogy? Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn?
Like, not her, but like the lady who plays Harley Quinn, the one who is supposed to be Harley Quinn. Wasn't there a movie? I feel like there was.
Maybe? I don't know. I don't think so.
I have like this feeling there was one where like you just see like the person who becomes Harley Quinn, but they never do anything about it. Like Robin with Dick.
I think you're thinking of Arrow. Because they show a little.
No, they just mention her.
Yeah, but they show her like her. She says something in Arrow. Like she talks in Arrow. She has a line, but
it's not But it's not Harley Quinn. It's the.
No, that was Harley Quinn.
The social worker who becomes Harley Quinn, whatever her name is. I don't know.
Well, Harleen Quinzel. That's her name.
Oh yeah, that's her name.
Yeah, that's Harley Quinzel.
I know okay. Like I said, I know too much DC knowledge in me.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was any.
But see, like I'm saying, like you don't see. There's no movies of them. There's no movies of Deadpool. Like barely after, 15 years of movies, superhero movies, we're finally getting a Deadpool and finally getting Harley Quinn movie, and everyone's like, "Whoa, where are these fanboys coming from?" Well, they're there.
Yeah.
You can't just have one favorite superhero. You are one super villain or whatever. Like everybody has their variety.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm a huge Deadpool fan, anyways, but because like I said, growing up, whatever superhero shows came out, those are my favorite superheroes, except Superman.
Except Superman.
Yeah, so watching Teen Titans with Deathstroke, he was pretty cool. Didn't know that was Deathstroke. I was like, that's Slade.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they made him named Slade, and they could have just named him Deathstroke. Oh, well, because it was a kid's show. They didn't want death. I read up on that they didn't want.
Oh, really?
They didn't want, in the thing that it was they were supposed to have him named Deathstroke, but they were like, it's too scary a name for kids, so they kept it as Slade. I was like,
Slade.
It's like, whoa, way to make out the the villain's name. They could have just called him. Oh, never mind. Just called him Stroke.
Stroke.
No. I don't know. We've been pushing an hour already for this one. We've talked about me and you, and went straight to our nerdiness.
Yeah. That's what I was waiting for. I wanted to get into it.
Yeah, we can go freaking hours with superhero stuff, and you get a taste of what we like, one taste of what we're into. I'm usually the ones that everybody hates. Some people are Iron Man, and I mean Iron Man, but Captain America and Ant Man. People make fun of me for Ant Man.
Yeah.
Which Ant Man is my favorite superhero because when I was little, it's gonna sound really pathetic, but when I was in third grade,
Yeah.
I had a pet ant. It was like those little wood ants, like the little brown ones that don't bite you.
Yeah.
And I remember like capturing one, and like I had a little like glass thing, and I was keeping it in school, and then like it got out, and my friend went and just like killed it. I was like, no, Anthony.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good movie.
Yeah,
I liked
that was
it.
see like, and there's people that are like, oh, it's not good, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, some people don't like the movie. I don't know why. I don't understand. I mean, in a way, like, well, in a way, I kind of get it.
Mhm.
I think there was somebody that was criticizing the Marvel villains. I can't remember who. Somebody like known.
I don't know him, so he's not that known.
I think it was the guy that George R. Martin, the guy that wrote.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah,
Game
yeah,
of
yeah,
Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
I think
I
he
think
was
I
the
have
one.
heard about it
I
too.
think he was the one that said something about that, that Marvel movies would be so good. It would be so much better if like the villains weren't so like. Because the way that Marvel makes the villains is so that the hero overpowers the villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like the villain always has the cool stuff, but no matter
They
what,
have like the advantage, but they lose it.
yeah, no
Yeah, they
matter
suck
what,
it
like
up.
the the fucking hero is always made to win, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you have like DC, right? Like you have Batman,
Yeah.
Joker, Joker. And he was saying that like the Marvel villains are always opposite of the hero, like Ant-Man, and then you have Yellow Jacket. Right?
Yeah.
They're sort of similar. They both shrink. They both grow.
Yeah.
They do the same stuff. And you have Iron Man and Ironmonger, right?
Yeah.
Which was Iron Man's other suit that he had made. You have Thor and Loki, which is his brother. So it's
and
like
the Hulk and Abomination.
yeah, Hulk and Abomination. So it's always like they're opposites, and like
Spider-Man and well, I mean that one's not. They waited to the third movie to do that, but they ruined.
yeah, Spider-Man has like the most villains out of like
Green Goblin.
any comic book character.
Was it Green Goblin? What was the second one? Doctor Octopus.
Yeah, Doctor.
See that one?
That
They
one's really
killed.
good.
They kill all the villains. It's like what the hell? Like they don't ever
Yeah.
die.
I know.
See, like I don't know, man. Like they did that with like Marvel. You think Marvel they kill all their villains? Like what else? What other movies are you gonna make? You're gonna kill everyone and they're all dead and they're all. Now they're making one where all the villains are gonna fight each other and kill each other.
Yeah. So yeah, like that's what he was saying, and it was like it's so true that like, because again, like I was saying, Batman and Joker, right? They're complete opposites. Like,
One's a genius and one's a psychopath.
well, yeah, but
Well, I mean
like,
both kind of.
but like they both, cross that line. Like,
Yeah.
like Joker, killing Jason Todd, right? Spoiler. Nobody knows about that. But,
Well, I'm pretty sure they don't know who Jason Todd is. Well, I mean.
yeah, well, he was one of
Most people were gonna listen to
Batman's
us right now.
Robins.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you have that, and then you have the Killing Joke, where Joker paralyzes Barbara Gordon, and she's in the wheelchair, and she becomes Oracle, right? So it's like, but I don't know. Have you ever read The Killing Joke?
No.
Oh well, like there they freaking like really showed the true like psychopathic nature of the Joker, because like he breaks into her apartment and like she's there, like she thinks it's her dad or whatever that answers the door, and he shoots her I don't know if he shoots her once or twice, but like he shoots her to where the bullet paralyzes her, and then he takes pictures, and it doesn't show it in the book, but like you from reading it, you get that he also raped her, so it's like, and he took pictures of it as well, and then he sends them to Commissioner Gordon, and like it's just crazy. Like it's a good book to read, but it's a good comic to read, but it's like, I mean, it's pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
and
like, but that's always good.
That's where you get the like true like, Joker.
Look, if all the superhero movies are rated R, they would be fantastic. I think they would.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool is probably going to be
R.
the start of that, and I hope that they continue doing that. Everybody, my kid's never gonna. It's like, have you read the comics for Deadpool?
Yeah.
I haven't. But I mean, if you even just going by social media of seeing Deadpool, like, you see he's not a kid-friendly movie. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you gave the comics to the moms of the people who fight for the PG rating, like if you gave them the comics, they'd stop, making those lists. The freaking
for PG.
For PG, it's like,
petitions,
dude, like, it's like, don't ruin what the fans have been waiting for decades of them doing to movies.
I don't know. Yeah, because like in Deadpool comics, it's always sexual.
Yeah.
You have him like daydreaming about, and any girl he meets, like he's daydreaming about having sex with her, and then like he's always like saying bad words and stuff. It's pretty funny, but
I wonder how he's gonna do it with breaking the fourth wall in this movie. I don't know.
From what I've heard, he says that he makes a lot of jokes about Ryan Reynolds, which is him being Ryan Reynolds. But,
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's funny.
Or the Green Lantern joke.
Yeah, they cut a lot of. They said they cut a lot of them out because they were like pretty harsh jokes that they were making. There was some about like the Queen of England, and then like about other celebrities, and like they had to cut a lot of them out. But they're gonna be in the
deleted scenes.
DVD extras and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna be a lot of them because they said like it's still rated R, but like we cut out a lot of the dirty jokes that were in there
because it would be not rated.
Yeah. it would have been like too much,
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm looking forward to Deadpool.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to that and Suicide Squad, and you know what? Whatever. I'll give the Dawn of Justice a good.
It's gonna be good, dude. It's gonna be good. Trust me. I'm more hyped for that.
I'm more excited that Batman could kick his ass, and I'm fine. I'll be like, yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know if he actually does.
He'll probably beat him down and then Superman will be like.
Yeah.
I'm excited that it's the start of the Justice League. I'm like, man, finally, man.
Yeah,
it's been way too long that they haven't made that. And it's like, you know what? It's time. They have the Avengers movie. Now it's time for the Dawn of Justice. Sad that they're not going to make them into, like, that way Marvel did, and they're going to introduce them in their own movies.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever. Well, I mean, kind of, right?
They are.
Yeah, because I said that, and then I was like, oh, yeah, they're making a Wonder Woman movie, Aquaman movie, a Cyborg movie. It's like, oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah, just, like, longer.
Dude,
like,
you know what I can't wait for?
Until...
Yeah, like 2018, 2019, 2020. It's like, we're going to be dead by then.
It's only been 4 years.
I'm not going to have time in 4 years, man. I'm going to be plowing through my second kid. Nah.
Oh.
Nah. I'll take my second kid to go see it.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about superhero, and like I said, we could go hours. But we're already at the hour.
We're at the hour?
We're at a little bit over the hour of
the
second episode of the Dumbax.
Yeah, I guess we could end it here.
Yeah, and that could be the end of episode 2. We'll be back with episode 3. Who knows when?
Whenever we're free again.
whenever we're free again next week,
Yeah.
which is usually what we do to hang out anyways. Same time, we'll see how it's going, see if our friends want to join in, one of them at least, or two or three. We'll do something like that. Probably not all of them at the same time, maybe one at a time. Just to
because
get
it'd be too many people.
Too many people, and we have a tendency to talk over each other, and
Yeah.
not talking over you, talk over me. They'll listen to you.
Yeah. They'll talk over you.
But yeah, I mean, there we can go ahead and we'll end the episode, and we'll be back with episode 3 of the Dumbax podcast. Again, you can watch them on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dumbax. Again, I will post this on Facebook. What do you think? Do you think we'll ever have like a Twitter account or
Twitter. I don't know.
I don't think Twitter, because it'd just be like us posting when we have the episode.
Yeah.
Maybe a Facebook page. I think I wanted to say that in the last episode was I wanted to make a Facebook page to where I can put the videos on, because I don't really want to upload them to my personal account.
Mm-hmm.
I will share that account, be like, hey, check out my podcast and stuff. And I don't know what you'll do. You're not really into social media that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure your family, your cousins will see it. Hopefully, your family will see it. My family definitely will see it because they want to know what I'm up to. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
No, I don't think my family will.
they don't have time to listen to you talk.
Yeah,
They do that in
don't
real
have
life.
time. Yeah. I'm sort of like, the popular one in my family. So,
Well, there you go. So am I, but
so it's like
oh.
anything I say here, they already know. You know?
well, they never hear you with me, man.
Well, true.
Alright, well, go ahead and end the episode there, and we'll be back for another Dumbax podcast.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
like and subscribe and share to all your friends. Brrr.